important whole shot. Have a look at Gibbs trying to go around the outside.
He is on a mission right now. Oh, look at this, beat. Escaped the carnage.
A battle of survival here in this first moto, and he has come out on top.
Welcome to Horsham in northwestern Victoria. A road tripper's dream and the perfect place to unwind with a wine on the banks of the Wimmera River. Or perhaps let your hair down at the Horsham races, wander through local goodies in the street markets, or enjoy some unique retail therapy that the Horsham creatives are so well known for. Once you tick all those boxes, it's time to go racing for round 2 of the Penrite ProMX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. Hi, I'm Kate Peck, and with me is 11-time National Motocross Champion Lee Hogan. Hogs, this is my first time here, but it's certainly not yours. Is it good to be back?
Oh, I've been here so many times over the past 7 years since our last national event here. But you know what? Every single time I come here, it feels the same. The moment you come through the gates, such a great atmosphere, an awesome track.
And in MX2, the rivalry is already heating up in the Honda camp.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So Honda won 2, we had Yamaha 3-4 and Husky 5th and 6th. So a bit of a rivalry amongst the teams there. Great to see Honda up on top there. They're certainly in fine form in that MX2 class.
And then finally, in the MX3 class, it was a sea of blue on the round podium, a full lockout for WBR Yamaha.
As you called it, podium lockout for those boys. Interesting fact, though, quite possibly their biggest gun, Seth Birchall, he was injured for the first round, but he's back and was lightning fast here in qualifying today. Looking forward to seeing what he's got. So not only 3, but a 4-headed prong there for the WBR Yamaha boys in MX3.
Let's go across and have a look at the track map.
Welcome to this week's Michelin track preview. And we find ourselves in country Victoria in Horsham, and a venue that we haven't been to for a national championship for over 7 years. Now, something riders are going to need to consider here at Horsham: when it's ripped and prepped properly, lots of water goes into it, we're going to see some of the deepest ruts that we're going to see throughout the entire season. However, one of the trickiest parts is when it goes hard packed. And believe me, there's going to be certain parts of this track that goes like concrete. It is so slippery, but even the pro level riders struggle to get around this track when we get a bit of water on it.
Hogs has already touched on probably what I feel is the most important part about this track, and that is the track surface. They've got a lot of sawdust that's been put into this circuit to try and soften it up just a little bit. One thing I really like about this circuit at the moment is you can see right here in front of me, the club has put in a lot of thought about how these lines are developed with this jump to the inside to try and slow the riders up and force them to the outside. And a big thing that I do enjoy about this track is just simply how wide the corners are. They're not really a stop-start, point-and-shoot kind of corner. They're really long, flowing corners, and it's really going to test the skill level of these riders to get around these corners very quick, which will also open up a lot of opportunities for passes. And a smart rider is going to be able to find some very secret lines that a lot of the other guys aren't. So these particular parts of the track are going to be key for making passes.
Now we find ourselves on the back third of the track, and where the technicality of this circuit really starts to ramp up a little bit. I'm standing on what resembles a set of full-blown Supercross whoops. We've got 8 of them, and the riders need to decide if they're going to try to skim across the top or try to jump their way through these whoops. After the whoops, we ease our way in a right-handed turn and over our biggest of our jumps here at Horsham, a big, massive 25-metre tabletop. From there on in, we've got a downhill, left-hand turn, uphill, and we make our way towards that checkered flag. So this last part of the lap here at Horsham, so many passing opportunities before you complete that moto. And that's one complete lap here at Horsham, thanks to Michelin tyres.
key component to the success of a rider on race day is understanding and getting the right setup of the bike. And one of the major factors at any kind of racetrack is simply tyre selection. And we've been lucky enough to head over to Todd Waters' bike here and look at some of the Maxxis options that they have leading into today. And as you can see right here on the bike, straight up, this is the tyre of choice for Wonthaggi. It's a sand tyre. There's a lot of space between these knobs. It's a very rounded tyre. It allows a lot of sand to get in between these knobs to get maximum grip on that sand. If you had a hard pack tyre on that kind of condition, it'd just simply spin up everywhere. So sand tyre, really wide gap between the knobs. And then we move across to the next option, which is where we're probably going to see the riders start this weekend at Horsham, and it is a soft terrain tyre. Now the difference between these, if I just roll this one out here, it's got a little bit of space between these knobs, but you can see so much more rubber on these knobs. They're a fatter knob. It's still got that round profile to dig into the ground, but allows a lot of that dirt still to get between those knobs and allow a lot of drive. A lot more knobs on the side of the tyre as well to benefit going around the corners where you might go between some softer surfaces and a little bit more of a hard pack. But that's not where it ends here in Horsham for these riders, because the surface itself, it is quite hard underneath, and that's probably where we're going to see the track end up over the day. As it dries out, we'll get more and more hard pack conditions, and it's quite possible that the riders may even go to this particular tyre here. Again, a lot more rubber is going to be touching the ground. These knobs, very beefy, still got that space in between the knobs themselves to allow a little bit of dirt, but it's more about getting the rubber down to the ground. A flatter profile as well across the top of this tyre, and even more closer knobs on the side. So they are trying to get maximum traction onto that very hard condition. It's something that these riders are going to have to think about all day long. There's always changing conditions in motocross, and if you can't get that power down to the ground on these bikes, you might as well just throw your day away.
Looking at the start list, though, for the Pirelli MX2 Moto1 lineup, of course, Ferguson fastest rider, Kingsford, Reese Budd, good to see up there, Connolly, Malkowitz, nice return back there, Barham, Minia, Dennis, Taylor and Yokoyama.
Yeah, let's not forget Bailey Malkowitz wrapped up the World Junior Championship here. He loves this place. This is some good terra firma for Malkowitz. There we see the Western Australian Brock Flynn there, 11th fastest, Benny Novak, Jace Cosford, a name we probably expect to see a little further up on the list.
Ryan King, the New Zealander, famous father of Shane King, of course, over here competing with the series as well as Curtis King there. Great to see them over here. We do have a couple of New Zealanders, a few New Zealanders over here making the trip over for this series, so great to see them over here as well.
Now, before we get the drop of the gate, we see very interesting line selection there, far inside for Bailey Malkowitz, and tell you what, a rider that knows this track exceptionally well.
Yeah, inside control, that inside turn. He also gives himself the opportunity, if there's a lot of riders that push wide in that first turn, to sneak around the inside. As we get set to get this one underway, the Pirelli MX2 Moto #1, the board is sideways, the revs go up, the gates are down. Who will get to the first turn first?
Unfortunately for Malkowitz, aloft of the front wheel, but trying to pick up, that's one of our Husky riders there on the inside. Trying to pick up who it is. We've got riders down, left, right and centre. Peaks flying.
Oh, there's Reed Taylor.
Yep, spot Reed Taylor down. There was a couple of big name riders down.
Byron Dennis, the #6 machine there in second place. Almost loses it just in front of Brodie Connolly.
Yeah, very evasive action, quick thinking there for Brodie Connolly. Almost ran into that rider there, Byron Dennis, unfortunately going sideways, but everyone keeping it up on two wheels. Good to see. Connolly making some moves, and is that Noah Ferguson who's gone down here?
And Dennis, our race leader.
And up here we've got Haruki Yokoyama. So many riders gone down in that left-hander.
Brock Flynn, who was leading that one, unfortunate for him, just pushed through that berm there with the front wheel and tipped it over. The other riders nowhere to go. So that is allowed, I think, Connolly, or is it Ferguson that has gone straight to the front here, Lee? I didn't catch the glimpse of it. We'll get it here on the back.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought one of those Honda boys went down.
It was Ferguson, you're right.
Yeah, so devastating news for Ferguson there, and that has just opened the door up for round one winner, Brodie Connolly.
And look who's in second
Oh, how did he do that after popping the front wheel out of the inside? He must have just tucked it up the inside of that first turn nicely.
He did. He stayed out of those crashes, and I honestly don't know. Oh, no, Jack Mather pushing the bike back there. It's running, but something is wrong. Obviously,
wow.
Yeah, some kind of issue there. That's weird that it's running and he's pushing back. He doesn't look like he's hurt or anything. Wow, all kinds of drama on the opening lap here of Moto number 1 for the Pirelli MX2s. Malkowitz there sits in second place. Reese Budd in third. Benny Novak, good start there. 70 machine in fourth in front of Caden Minia. Fitzpatrick back there in sixth in front of Cosford, Cannon, King, and the rest of the field making their way through as well. There is our second place rider of Malkowitz just in front of Budd as they work through the Honda left-hand turn here and drop back down. And I remember this one being a difficult turn before this jump when I rode here, Lee, into this right. And there is a couple of different lines, but the approach into those whoops is vital, getting some good speed across it.
Now, Danny, can I just give some serious props for Benny Novak, number 70 back there in fourth place. What an amazing ride for him at the moment, well up in that top 5. Caden Minia in the top 5 as well in 5th place, a good ride for him. He'll be hoping to try to get himself some good points after round 1. Horsham, to me, having seen this so many times throughout the years, it's kind of similar to Broadford in a sense that it has a very small window of where the surface is beautiful. It's either muddy or it's dusty, and for a short period of time, it's beautiful. But what you are seeing at the moment is Horsham at its best.
Yeah, there's a lot of traction for these guys, especially this one here, who's... Well, I didn't pick this. We know how fast Connolly is. I certainly have seen the strength out of him in the first round. I didn't really think we'd see 12 seconds gap for Connolly. We knew he'd be up there, no doubt. We knew he'd be up there battling it for the lead. I just felt that the positions may have been closer. Hey, if we didn't have those crashes early on the race, maybe they would have been. But 13.2 seconds now. He is stretching it out so much every single lap. We continue to monitor those times there, the interval times. Connolly continues to stretch it out at 16 there. Was Barham. There is the battle here between King, and on the back of them as well is the 38 machine. Not sure how far back these riders are. In fact, the 443 machine of Thomas Gadsden, 443 just down there in that turn. As we still have 5.5 minutes left in the Pirelli MX2 Moto number 1. Still plenty of time for these riders to get some passes made, all important passes to pick up some valuable points in this championship. And then down that leaderboard, I can see that Yokoyama has got himself around Novak. There was a battle that we were speaking of a little bit earlier on, had those cameras locked into it.
Just an update on Ryder Kingsford. He went down twice in the first lap. So that first turn pile up and then once again.
Yeah, wow, great grab there. Thank you, Kate. And must say, we had so many big name riders down on that first lap. We didn't get to see all of them, and we couldn't humanly possibly pick up every single big name rider that went down there. There was so much going on, and you know, there's certain times in a race where you can go down and you can have a crash. However, you do not want to go down in that first turn or the third turn when you get passed by so many. Let's go back down to Kate quickly.
Just wanted to make a quick mention of Byron Dennis. He's obviously looking very quick. I don't know what he can achieve in these last few laps, but just talking about tyres, as that will come into play a little bit later in the day, he went from a paddle during qualifying to a soft during the race.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, they were out in the mud earlier on, and I know you were just looking at that then too, Lee, about Byron Dennis. He has set the fastest lap on that very last lap, a whole 2 seconds faster than our race leader, who is the next fastest on track. So Dennis is absolutely flying at the moment. he may be able to close down that 4 seconds on Yokoyama and potentially get himself into a top 5 position by the time the checkered flag comes out.
Yeah, let's not forget we are currently on the last lap. We've had that much excitement going on. We haven't even called that last lap board going out. So race leader Brodie Connolly, well and truly 20-second plus gap he has got over Bailey Malkowitz, who is down to only a 1.3 second gap. Can Bailey Malkowitz, our absolute superstar, former junior world champion, can he hold on ahead of Reese Budd? But Brodie Connolly only moments away from taking a checkered flag here, and a fantastic Moto1 in the Pirelli MX2 class.
There is Ferguson, who's quite a ways back, like we mentioned. He's got himself up to 19th. Certainly, there's no goggles even on his helmet right there. So very unfortunate for him, a bad start to the day. As we just try and glance around to see where we are at with our race leader, because we're looking to the checkered flag very soon. And the close of this one, there he is, up to the to the finish line, and he is super happy. As we see the 88 machine, Brodie Connolly will come around, Pirelli MX2 Moto #1, and takes the win. A great way to start the day. Can Malkowitz hold on? We'll look back. It's going to be some 21 seconds back, Lee.
I'm going to tip that Reese Budd's going to move himself straight up into second place in the championship just after that first moto. Let's take a look at the results for Pirelli MX2 Moto1. Brodie Connolly with a massive win here in Moto1. Bailey Malkowitz, take a bow, my friend, second place. Reese Budd rounding out the top 3.
Caden Minio with a solid performance, as to Yokoyama, Byron Dennis, Mason Parsons, well done to him. Benny Novak, again, congratulations, solid effort. Jace Cosford, Riley Fitzpatrick, another of our privateer riders that certainly needs a pat on the back. Caleb Barham back there in 10th place.
Campbell Williams there just outside of the top 10. Mackenzie O'Brien in 12th. Ty Keane in 13th. Wilson Groner Dash there in 14th. And Travis Olander rounding out the top 15. Ryder Kingsford just outside of the top 15. And Noah Ferguson, heartbreaking for him after being well and truly there in the hunt after the first round. All right, let's head down to Kate, who's with our podium.
Brodie Connolly on the Honda. Congratulations. What a dominant performance with over 20-second lead. It was chaotic out there, but you stayed out of all the mess.
Yeah, got off to an okay start. I think I was 3rd or 4th, and then a couple of guys made some mistakes on the first lap, and I was able to get into the lead and ride my own race. It's not super rough, but man, it's real tricky to ride. But yeah, no, having fun, so yeah, it's good.
Were you pushing out there, or did you just find flow and you were just enjoying?
Yeah, the first few laps, you sort of, until you get into your flow, and then you can sort of, switch on, and just, that race honestly felt like a moto during the week. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just
checked out. All right, well done. Good luck for the next moto.
Thank you.
Well, what a way to start his day. Nathan Crawford taking a victory in Moto1 of the MX1. We have got so much more action to come. Quick break. When we come back, we've got Moto2 of the MX3. Welcome back to Horsham for round 2 of the Penrite Oils ProMX Championship, brought to you by AMX Superstores. We have just ticked off race 1 of the MX1, and we're just about to have the drop of the gate for Moto2 of the MX3. But before we do, we're going to head down now to Kate Peck, who caught up with former junior world champion Bailey Malkowitz.
I'm with the 2018 Junior Motocross World Champion, Bailey Malkowitz. Bailey, we are back at Horsham, where you were crowned. We're going to have some young'uns watching this that are going to be in a similar position to you, potentially. Tell us what that experience was like.
Yeah, I mean, the experience here with the Junior World titles was unreal. Obviously, here in Australia, home country, and obviously here at Horsham is not too far away from where I live. So, I mean, the opportunity was amazing, and obviously the feeling of winning here in front of everyone that I know and all these home country fans obviously was an unreal feeling, and I mean, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, fantastic. And WBR Yamaha, you are riding with them again this year. They had a pretty good start to the season with an MX3 podium round lockout. Tell us what's happening with them for you this year, and also just a bit about your rich history with the team.
Yeah, I mean, the boys had a really good round one this year. Obviously, one of the riders unfortunately was injured, but the other three obviously were 1, 2 and 3 that round. So really happy for them and all the other riders. But yeah, for myself, obviously these boys have really put a lot of effort behind me this year. A lot of really trust, and it's really like a family to me. So they're putting in a lot of hard work and a lot of money and everything into me being able to race this season. So I mean, I really can't thank them enough, and I want to get some good results to really pay them back. And I mean, obviously I started with them in 2018 for obviously the MXD title. We won that, we won the world titles here, we won a few other titles that year, and obviously, yeah, I can't thank them enough for all their support.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Bailey, best of luck out there. I'm sure you'll do them proud, and we'll see you on the track.
Thank you very much.
We love coming out here west, 4 hours west of Melbourne. Let's take a look at the Honda highlights here of MX3 Moto1.
And up to the inside was Cannon, just snuck it through there. Oh, but it was Kingsford as well that was right on the back wheel. The 20 machine got himself out to an early lead, but unfortunately he couldn't hold on to that one. And there he was there, and already you can see back a few places from here. Shackleton to the inside of Byrne, looking for a pass to be made as well. This is a little bit further back in the pack, but it was Cannon that was leading this one early on in the race and looking pretty strong for a rider that hasn't had a lot of time on the bike. But Handers knew that he had the speed and the strength and made the pass early. What no one knew was that there was a KTM coming up behind them at a rapid pace, and it would not take too long until the battle was made for the lead. And this was the pass into the lead by Allstars. And then that just started this ding-dong battle between both of these riders all the way to the checkered flag.
Yes, Hansis knew he had his couple of spots on the track where he was zigging, he was zagging, he was doing whatever it took to get to the head of the pack. But what a battle it was, right the way down to the wire. Certainly Jed Allstars had that rut and the whoop section dialed, didn't he?
He did, and I think it was just a little bit of the weight of the lead that eventually would succumb the pressure there for Allstars, but nothing, and I mean nothing, taken away from Hantis. He was so strong, he kept that pressure on, and he would come out on top in that race.
But we are only moments away from the drop of the gate here, as we're about to have a quick look at the Maximum Tyres lineup. MX3 Moto2, Cade Kingsford, Jet Allstars, some of the biggest MX3 names we're going to see. Kobe Hantis, the winner from Moto1, Jake Cannon, our early leader.
Yeah, Lindsay, Carpenter, Manson, there is so much in this field that really can put it up there in the top 10, and it's really across the board in this entire field. There is so many separate little battles going on that you could put a camera anywhere and you're most likely going to pick up some kind of action as we are set to get this one underway. Moto number 2, of course, for the Maxxis MX3. 15-second board is up. We're about to get the 5-second board. This one is just seconds away from igniting. Will we see another big start from the Yamaha guys that we've seen so much of? Oh, good jump there by, was that 68, I think?
Okay, who have we got? That looked to be, is it 252?
Compton, I think it was, to the outside. I saw Lindsay is up there as well. It's Kingsford again, though. The 20 machine.
What a start from Kingsford there, and then we'll try to pick up one of the Husqvarna riders in second, and then is that one of our KTM riders?
I think that's 254 of Jack Deverson there in second place.
Just spotted Jake Cannon, the number 3, distinctive number 3 back there in about 8th place, I believe.
And I think Pace is in there too, the 621. He is in third, looking to the inside right now to try and make a pass. Not quite close enough there. Where is everyone else? There is Allstars. There he is, Hantis. He is about 5 back from Allstars. So this is going to be a big ride for both of these guys. If they were to, not, it's early days. The WP Whole Shot Award, of course, going to Cade Kingsford. I think that's 2 from 2 for him in this class. Just snuck around the inside from everyone else, but just looking towards back. Over the jump just now, that is Hantis, race 1 winner and red plate holder, championship leader. He is back there in, well, he's not even on the top 15, maybe just jumped into it now on our scoreboard in 10th place.
Yeah, so he was originally 17th place. The rider just has a exit stage left around the outside of the whoops. Unintentional, but definitely was a smooth line, shall we say. But yeah, he's got an absolute mammoth amount of effort ahead of him if he wants to try to make his way up towards the head of the pack. Good news for him though, his main competition and arch rival is in 8th place, Jet Allstars.
Deegan Pace to the inside. This is out of nowhere. Pace was quick earlier on today. We didn't see him feature in the first race. However, 2 big double scrubs through this finish line, and he puts himself up into the lead in front of Kingsford and ready to set these afterburners and get out of there, create some space and try and run away from this. You were saying the Allstars thing there. Sorry, Lee, he did pass a couple of riders though, so we have to think Hantis can't waste any time. He needs to start boogieing. Keep an eye on the 42 of Allstars because he's used a few new lines that we haven't seen a lot of. Around the outside just then after the finish line straight, just put himself straight up into 5th place in front of Compton. There's Davison. He needs to get a wriggle on as well because he does have a very fast charging. Allstars jumped in behind him now. Oh, sorry, no, he still has Cannon there. Where's Cannon? Have I got them mixed up? Is Cannon drop back one? No, that's just me mixed up. Sorry about that.
Yeah, looks to be Cannon still there on the Honda machine in 4th place. So a good ride for him, but don't think we've seen Jake Cannon quite back to his absolute best that we've seen so far. Of course, some of the injuries that he's had to go through.
There is Hantis just in the background. He now sits almost onto the back wheel of Allstars as well. Have a look in the background. There is Allstars. There is Compton and Kobe Drew and Hantis. So our race 1 winner with the red plate right there, he is starting to move his way forward. And we saw this at round 1 too. He came from a long way back, moto number 1, and was still able to get up there and take the win.
So a bit of a mistake there from Kobe Hantis. He looks like he was actually trying to set up a bit of a passing move, but it wasn't to happen.
Jake Cannon to the inside here of Davison. He made this pass a lap prior on the rider as well behind him. And he's done it once again. Watch, oh no, Allstars in push wide. I was going to say, watch Allstars. He's got a nice, neat little inside line here that no one else was using. Of course, he didn't make it that time around as they went through the KTM Group corner. The fastest lap of the race so far, 157.9 by Deacon Pace on the lap number 2. And this is the battle right here for the lead. You can see it is clear that we have Kingsford moving to the back wheel of Deacon Pace. 2 very fast riders that have shown their strengths in the first round and now in the second round. These will be title contenders as we move through the rest of this championship. We look at this. This is a Honda replay. Look in the back there.
Oh,
just there. That is Shax going down, unfortunately.
Yeah, just went to cut down under a rut. Front wheel got caught on that inside edge. That was enough to tip the Honda machine down onto its side and was already back outside of the top 15. Not where you want to be.
Yeah, what we haven't really talked about is the fact that Birchall is now in 5th place. Davison, Compton, Drew, Fuller, Pierce, Hantis. He has dropped back a long way. Something has gone on there.
Yeah, look, and I mean, this could be a very, very, telling tale here in the picture of the championship. He's got the red plate, championship points leader, gone out, won the first moto here at round 2. And like we said on the podium, he just would have been all smiles inside that helmet. For him to be back this far, he needs to do a little bit of damage control now.
Well, it's going to come down to this moto, actually. If they were to finish right now, it's 2 points difference between Hantis and then back to Kingsford. Now, if Kingsford can get himself into the lead, then that'll get him 3 points and a swing to the lead of the championship. That's assuming that Hantis isn't able to pass anyone else in this race, which is very highly unlikely. That lead yo-yoing back and forward, 1.3. It was down to 0.8 a second ago. So they've got their strengths on the track.
And of course, the pit boards will be letting these riders know the gaps, okay? And I don't think you need to be a brain surgeon to figure out the gap between first and second.
Oh.
You'd be able to hear that bike, and in fact, he would see that blue fender up the inside.
Oh.
It stays lower. Is this where the pass is made? The slingshot around the outside, though, a lot of momentum from Pace, but it's not going to be enough.
Pace almost went over the bars on that jump up the hill, though. That was very close to coming unstuck. A little bit lazy in that left-hander, maybe just missed the line that he was looking at. Again, the front wheel tucking on that very hard, slippery surface there. But Kingsford has done everything right. He has kept the pressure there the entire race. Again, we said these guys haven't slowed down. That last lap a little bit slower than the previous ones. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's maybe Cade has managed to break Deacon Pace's spirit just a little bit. He's a bit on the edge. Kingsford may get held up a little bit here by the lapped rider. Better run there for Pace.
Yeah, Pace has gone to the inside here. It's a bit of an optical illusion once again because it has that jump on the inside. And another one here, switch it to the inside.
Well, if he can hold this very tight inside line that Allstars found earlier on, he doesn't even have to hold that one. He has moved himself back into the lead. So we have got only 2 laps to go. These riders are not done just yet, but I'll tell you what, Pace is going to need to do some clean laps as we see Kingsford to the inside once again. Not quite close enough there. Actually had to back out of it just a little bit. Otherwise, those 2 riders probably would have come together.
Okay, so it's a case of reloading here and going, right, what do we got? We've got 2 laps to go. I can hold on here. What's the part of the track where I'm the most vulnerable? Where can I potentially get past and I need to cover myself? If I have got any energy left, I need to leave every single % out on the track here.
So it was okay that time through there. That was one of his weaker areas right in that particular corner, but he has fixed that line up through to here. He still looks pretty good. I don't know where the advantage is for Kingsford. It seemed like maybe the first part of the track. Both riders on the same line through here.
And have a look at both riders. Almost look like they're just tiptoeing through there. Once again, beautiful traction found by the rear end of Kingsford. I don't think that's the main priority for Deacon Pace. I think it's just hold it wedged, do whatever I can to keep it the head of the pack and just keep this Yamaha behind me.
Through this long left-hander, multiple lines through here. Kingsford has the opportunity to look to the inside, but I think they'd be smart, both go to the wide line, get a good run onto these whoops. Pace was very quick through here last time, and then to the inside. We saw that work so well for the riders in the previous race.
Did you just see Cade Kingsford try to triple through there? He was so close. If he had got that clean, it would have placed him right onto the back of Deacon Pace.
This is where we saw the pass made earlier by Kingsford. And he's right there again. He is right there, but that lapped rider could get in the way. 1 lap to go. Oh, so close between both of those riders. We have the last lap board. Kingsford with a big run here.
Oh, that was a beautiful line through the inside.
Oh, Paceman launches it.
What a jump. What landing ramp.
He did that a couple of laps ago as well, but that was well thought out because it gave him enough room to make sure he stayed in front and blocked that line out. Kingsford now looking for something up to the inside. It's almost there.
Wow, the art form that Kingsford is showing to stay in grippy dirt is incredible at the moment. And I'm going to say, Pace needs to be very careful going into the final corner. Forget about the final corner. He just made the pass here already.
Over the tabletop again into this long right-hander, the outside line, inside line, which will work better. As Pace off the jump, a big jump once again. And he is squeezed out. Kingsford back to the lead again. Well, that shows the heart of both of these riders, Lee. Neither of them want to give it up. Pace desperately wants this first win.
Okay, so we're getting to the latter stage of this lap where the checkered flag's about to come out. And I tell you, Cade Kingsford has got a spot on the track. Yellow flag comes out. This is very bad news. And red cross flag. So devastating news for Cade Kingsford because he cannot make a pass under a red cross flag.
We're past that area now, though. So down into the... Oh, here we go. Kingsford's going to have the good run onto the whoops. He's going to get a good pass here, but
no. Rider!
Oh, man. It is all action at the moment. It's going to go down to the very last turn.
Okay, so Deacon Pace to the inside here, but both riders here. Now, this is such a critical corner at the bottom here. Are they going to go for the same lines? No. Kingsford around the outside. A mistake from both riders. Oh, that is all she wrote.
All over. Kingsford had the right idea. but the small mistake will allow Deacon Pace to come across and collect his first win in the MX3 class, and he is so pumped with that. What a race once again for MX3. Over the finish line, Allstars and Birchall right on the line as well. We didn't even get a chance to see that battle.
Wow, both riders rounding up Jake Cannon in the latter stages of the race there.
Such a fantastic venue. A big effort by everyone in this area to get this racetrack, this whole race here underway. As we look at the Maxxis Tyres results for the MX3 Moto2, of course, we talked about Pace, Kingsford the whole way through. Allstars, Birchall, Cannon. What we didn't really talk about, Drew, Pantis, Deverson, Compton, and Angus Pearce with a top 10 finish.
Great job from all of those riders in our top 10. Jackson Fuller, Caden Strode, Ruben Smith. We've got Travis Lindsay there in 14th place. The list goes on. Our results for MX3 Moto2.
And down with the Kate is our winners.
Kobe Hanters in P3 for the round. Absolute chaos out there, but you've maintained the championship lead, so you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad of a race. I got a bad start again and then got caught in the carnage, but it is what it is, and yeah, we'll move forward.
Yeah, we sure will. We'll move on to Deacon Pace with the race win. You looked ecstatic coming in here. You don't even look gassed. Tell us about your moto.
Oh, that was the first moto. I got a shit start, and yeah, it all went a bit no good. But then I just got a good start, just hit my lines, had a good race with the boys, and yeah, I just can't thank Mum and Dad for bringing me enough. They flew me over from WA to live in Queensland. All my sponsors, Moto1, JR, very sweet, and a big shout out to Azza. He's a bit sick at the moment, but that race was for him.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you, and everyone else.
And in P1 for the round, Jet, also so good to see you up here on the KTM. Building back. Obviously, you had some issues last year, but tell us about your weekend.
Yeah, it's really good. It was my third race back from 6 months off the bike. Not the way I would have liked to win. I would have liked to win a race, but a win's a win, and I'll definitely take it.
Excellent championship points. It's so great to see you up here. We'll see you the next round.
Yeah, thank you.
We are 2 races deep into this afternoon's race, and so much action-packed races still to come. Don't go anywhere. Here is your lineup for the Pirelli MX2 Moto number 2. Noah Ferguson, we just mentioned. Ryder Kingsford, Reese Budd, Brodie Connolly, Bailey Malkowitz, who got second in the first of the motos. Caleb Barham, Caden Minia, Byron Dennis, Reed Taylor, and Yokoyama. And this first moto was riddled with crashes, Lee.
Brock Flynn, Benny Novak, Jace Cosford, Mitch Norris there. Also, Jack Mather, someone we expect to see a little bit further up through the pack.
Yeah, he had that problem in the first race with the broken front disc, something that is really strange to see. So I expect a bit more out of him. Ryan King was one of those guys that went down in the first turn. Charlie Cannon is out there, the women's rider that leads her championship. She's out with the boys, and she's there in 25th in qualifying. So definitely a massive effort from her.
Yes, great job for Charlie there out there with the boys, and looking forward to seeing her in the next round of WMX as well. Brought to you by Easy Lift.
A lot of guys that want to get themselves a good start. The 88 machine there, you can just see the red plate on the front, the Honda rider who absolutely blitzed Moto number 1. The 15-second board is up. 5 will be there in just a moment. These guys are ready to close out their account here at Horsham for Moto number 2. All important points leading into the rest of the championship. 5-second board is up. The revs come up. Who will launch? Gates down.
Great jump from Brodie Connolly out of the middle. It wasn't his initial jump. It was once he got to the dirt. So a very clear hole shot.
Kingsford is there as well, as to Haruki Yokoyama in 3rd place. Around the outside there, was that Reese Budd? Possibly. Looks like, yes, I think it is maybe Reese Budd to the outside there on the 22 machine. So he moved into 3rd. There is Ferguson around about 10th place next to Reed Taylor. Haruki Yokoyama, he's on a mission right now.
Yeah, what a jump out of the gate, and a great start for Yokoyama. Likewise, as you said, for Reese Budd, another one right up there.
Jack Mather also to the inside, the WP Holshot Award going to Brodie Connolly, and that is not what the rest of this field want to see, as he absolutely ran away with it in Moto number 1. Kingsford there in second place. Around the outside, Mather, the 19 machine, also up there. Connor Adams, as they launch down towards the Honda left here for the first time. The riders dicing back and forward. Dennis only just coming over that jump. He is buried deep in the pack.
And unfortunately for Noah Ferguson back there in 9th place. So another bad start for Connolly's teammate there.
It was mentioned there in that little feature that we had prior. Ferguson said that Connolly gets the better starts, and it's come true once again. There's Olander as well in this one. Benny Novak was way back. He had such a good Moto number 1. Unfortunately for him, he is well and truly back in 16th at the moment. Is that Malkowitz? Oh, is that Malkowitz that just went down?
Oh, and the other rider almost so close to going down and stuck behind that tough block. We'll just try to confirm that with you. Jack Mather there, like you said, much better start this time around. But our race leader has got a little bit of company this time from rider Kingsford.
Reed Taylor coming over the finish line there just next to Byron Dennis. Looked like Barham as well is there in that position. There goes Benny Novak as well. They complete their first lap. Kingsford looking good. I tell you what though, Bud's looking pretty strong at the moment.
Yeah, likewise. Haruki Yokoyama just piffed that bike sideways out of turn 1. Looking great.
Really impressed with the way Yokoyama's riding that Honda at the moment. Looks a lot more in control. However, he hasn't been able to hold off the charge there by Reese Budd, who has moved himself there into 3rd place. As they go into the Michelin right here, Yokoyama looks to the outside to try and swing back around, but Budd so strong. Oh, I tell you what, Yokoyama's right there.
Trying to set up a pass. He'll go from the outside back to the inside onto some dirt. Well executed pass from Haruki Yokoyama, and stays a little lower than Reese Budd over that tabletop.
I think he just found a magical line just there. From the outside to inside, it looked like there was nothing for him to turn off, but there was some kind of rut that was already formed up. So beautiful execution of that pass there. Puts himself back there into 3rd. Just in the background there, good little battles going on with Ferguson trying to get himself around Minia. If he can just catch the back end of that as they went through the bottom of that screen there into the Max's right. Here we go to the outside here. This worked well for Allstars in the race prior to this. Not quite close enough, or maybe not knowing the line good enough. Oh, how was the run into there?
Yeah, brilliant. And then around the outside, he's going to land next to him, but stayed lower. So can he set up a pass? Slip around the inside, but yes.
Oh, easy. That was well executed there, Lee.
Yeah, it was. He set that up all the way back from when you first mentioned it, tipping it into the left-hander. Now, the left-handed part didn't work too well. I think he come across a couple of sharp edge bumps on the exit of the corner. But how is that right-handed first turn, like smoothness, that execution of the run in the first turn?
Haruki Yokoyama set his fastest lap of the race that last time around at a 1:54. 55's up front for the first 2. And then a 54 as well for 4th place at Noah Ferguson. So they are quicker on track than our lead 2 riders at the moment. And there is the confirmation of Ferguson. Reese Budd not able to hold onto this position right on the back wheel of Ferguson. See Brock Flynn, unfortunately for him, he has retired from this race, but the battle is still raging behind this rider between Haruki Yokoyama and Noah Ferguson, who have been putting down some pretty quick times, 1:55 lap times for all 4 top 4 riders in this last lap. But we'll have a look at the times this time and see if Kingsford has wicked it up just a little bit to try and hold off this charge. 1:55 compared to a 1:55 are those 2 riders.
Yeah, and so from the looks of that, it just looks like Noah Ferguson has had no choice but to slow that lap time speed down just a little bit, get caught behind rider Kingsford, needs to probably try to break away from some of his lines and try to find a passing opportunity to get past that Yamaha rider.
Kingsford runs to the inside here, so he's got that line covered. Ferguson's going to have to push it. Oh, Kingsford, the back end stepping right out there. He was lucky Ferguson wasn't sitting there on the outside of him.
Yeah, look, I mean, I guess Noah Ferguson was trying everything he could to try to get past, but some very evasive, protective riding from Kingsford to the inside. Is it going to be a pass? Yes.
It looks like it. So Ferguson, it's taken him some laps to make this pass, but finally he has got it done. Will we see Kingsford rebound here and maybe pick up on some lines that have been a little bit quicker for Ferguson? As they split through here, Kingsford could get held up with a lapped rider. He may clear out the way in time. And didn't even get close to him. I don't know what I'm talking about. Through the shot right. And down into the KTM group left here. Of course, the Gas Husqvarna KTM banners showing that. Yes, you're right. You know what, Connolly, he can't lay down on this one. One more lap to go.
He's going to be almost on him by the time they go over the finish line. Noah Ferguson is one of the hardest charging last lap riders.
Yeah, well, he's about to find out exactly how much of a fight Ferguson is ready to put in, as Ferguson just did a 52.9. My Lord, that is very quick, the fastest we have seen out of anyone this race. I'm sure Connolly just got the hurry up from the pit boards.
Yeah, you would like to think so. I would like to, in a second, we will see where that front fender is there. Thought it'd be just a tiny little bit closer, especially with that being his key section of the track.
Into the Michelin right-hander here goes our race leader, maintaining a very small margin, the closest it's been the entire race. And it's at the back part of the track where Ferguson is just so much quicker.
Yeah, look, I think this chicane that's about to come up here, how he stays out wide, well, it looks to me like Connolly might have the same line. He does. No, he's head to the outside, to the inside here, and he'll make up a little bit of time right there.
Certainly can smell the fumes of the bike in front. Ferguson trying everything. He needs to get himself a good run on the whoops. If he doesn't get a good run on the whoops, then it's all over.
Yeah, it is. And look, he made up a little bit on his favourite chicane there. It's gone to the inside, so he'll make up a bit of time, but it's across the whoops here where it can tell the tail. He got across pretty good that time.
Yeah, not too bad. Outside here, possibly, swings it around. We keep an eye on these two over the last couple of corners.
All right, let's follow him, head down into this final corner, far outside, and a slightly different line. It's not going to be enough. That bottom corner, it has just played havoc with our second place riders many times here as they come towards the finish.
Oh, my lordy lord, did you see that scrub? I thought he was going down. That was so close. Connolly takes the win in this race. Ferguson with a 0.2 deficit back there in second place. 9 seconds back to Kingsford. 0.4 to Byron Dennis, who passed Barham on the last laps as well. Puts himself in fourth.
Let's take a look at the Pirelli results. MX2 Moto2, Connolly with the win from 0.2 of a second. Almost a photo finish there with Noah Ferguson in second place.
Kingsford back there in third, Dennis, Barham, Yokoyama. Great rides by all of these. Reese Budd with the seventh. We'll get him up onto the box. Jack Mather, Minia and Reed Taylor all the way back through to 10th place.
Campbell Williams in 11th. Malkowitz after an untimely crash there in 12th. Wilson Griner Dash there in 13th. Cosford back there in 14th. And Ryan King in 15th. And on that note, we are going to now head down to Kate.
Byron Dennis, a pretty tricky weekend on the gas, but you're on the podium nonetheless, P3 for the round.
Yeah, the first moto wasn't the best, just laid it down a couple of times, but had good pace. But yeah, the second moto was a bit better, just a bad start. But happy to be here and couldn't thank the whole team enough.
Exactly, well, we'll see you at the next round.
Thank you.
And on to Reese Budd. P2 for the round. Reese, mixed results for you this weekend, but you're up here and that's important.
Yeah, I can't say I'm happy with my riding today, that's for sure. You know, I got a bit of luck on my side, 3-7 or whatever I got for second place. So, I don't know, I guess I stayed out of the carnage the best I could, but, you know, I'm very disappointed with my riding today. But we're up here and we'll take the points and move on to the next round. But I just got to give up to my whole race line. Husqvarna T-Dub Racing team, my wife, my parents, just everyone for their help to get me here, and we'll be better next round.
We'll see you at Gilman.
Yes.
And in P1 for the round, Brodie Connolly, pretty perfect weekend for you. 2 whole shots, 2 wins. How did it feel out there?
Yeah, it was an awesome day for me. Yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling to go 1-1. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't give it up enough to my whole team. They helped me out so much, Yuriv, Jai, Mark, Matt, just all of them. And yeah, shout out to all my friends and family watching back home. I know they're back home supporting. Thank you.
Excellent. Well done. We'll see you, Gilman.
Thank you.
Well, what a day it has been. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you join us May the 5th as we head to the iconic Gilman Circuit, just a short 20 minutes drive from Adelaide for round 3 of the Penrite Oils ProMX Championship, brought to you by AMX Superstores. And while you're at it, make sure you lock in round 3 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships, presented by Motul, as it heads next to Queensland Raceway, just out of Ipswich in Queensland, from April the 26th to the 28th. Well, what an exciting day's racing we've witnessed here in Horsham for round 2 of the Penrite Oils ProMX Championship, brought to you by AMX Superstores. Thanks so much for joining us. On behalf of Danny Ham, Kate Peck and myself, Lee Hogan, thanks for your company. We'll see you next at Gilman in Metropolitan Adelaide for round 3 of the championship, May the 5th. Goodbye for now.